Hi, this is Farooq, and today I'm going to tell you about an exercise in Exercism which is called Bird Watcher. So, what we are taught in this exercise is basically for loop, and it is very basic thing for many programmers, but for beginners, I will suggest you to go on ChatGPT on Google and search for this. And it is one of the very commonly used statement to repeatedly execute some logic. Okay, we give some initial condition like if let's say we have an array which has 10 numbers from 1 till 10, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and we are given the task to just filter out the numbers that are even. It seems very common, it seems very simple that you can just pick out the even numbers, but let's say the list is in the millions. In that case, for loops come in very handy and it can save a lot of time. So in this case, first, I've told you to get yourself familiarized with the for loop, and after that, I'm going to now tell you about this specific task that we have done today, and we are going to read the instruction. The instructions is that you are an avid bird watcher that keeps track of how many birds have visited your garden. Like you count your birds every day that come and visit your garden, and now you're done with the traditional ways of noting it down on your notebook, and you want a better work with your data, and you already digitalized the bird counts per day for the past week that you kept in the notebook. So let's come to the first task. Let us start analyzing the data by getting a high-level view. Find out how many birds you counted in total since you started your logs. Alright, so we have to count the total birds. We have the data of birds that visited the garden every single day, but we have to sum them up together. And for that purpose, we have used a reduce function. And I'm just zooming in so it is easier for you to read it. Alright, I think it is visible now. Alright, so export function total bird count. We created a function and we passed a parameter which is called birds per day. Now we return birds per day like the parameter dot reduce total count. So what we did is that we used the reduce method, and reduce method help us to sum the function, help us to sum the total days. So let me tell you, this function takes an array birds per day as its parameter, and it uses the reduce method to accumulate the elements of the array. The arrow function total and the arrow function total comma count is equal to total plus count is the reducer function. It adds each element count to the running total, which is the total. So if it takes the first value, then it adds the second value, it adds the third value. And if some of you guys are not familiar with the reduce function, I will suggest you to learn about it before moving to the next exercise. As I told you, exercism is simple, but we need to have some basic understanding of the basic methods of JavaScript. And can okay, we have an array that contains the count of birds for each day, and that calculates the total bird. And after that, the total uh, bird count is called with the birds per day array and returns the total count of birds. This total is stored in the variable total birds, and it will give you the exact output. Now moving towards the next exercise. What is the task 2? In task 2, we have to calculate the number of visiting birds in a specific week. Alright, so we have to count in any specific week. Let's say we have the first week and we count that there total 12 birds visited in the first week. And if someone asks you how many birds visited in the fourth week, how will you let them know the exact answer using the data, using the code that we are doing right now? So we created a function. All right, I'm going to zoom in this code also, and I hope it's visible to you guys. Export function birds in week. So first we pass the parameter birds per day. Two parameters are passed, birds per day and week. So let total birds in week is equal to 0. So we have created a variable and assigned a value 0 because we have to add all the number of birds that visited that particular week. And now we are using the for loop again for let I is equal to 7 times weeks minus 1. That is the important part. What we are going to do here right now, what we are doing, it's we have created a variable called I. And let's say the first week will start from 0 because you know the array start from 0. So let's say the week is 1. Put in the value. It's a simple mathematical formula. 1 minus 1 is equal to 0 and 7 times 0 is equal to 0. So that shows that the if we have to calculate the total number of birds visited in the first week. It means that we have to start from 0 index, and you can check for every week, and this formula is absolutely correct. If you apply the week 2, 2 minus 1 1, and 1 times 7 7, so it tells that we have to start from index 7. We have to take our first value from index 7. So this first part of the for loop is telling us about the date, the index from which we have to take in the values. And the second part of the index is I less than 7 times week, which means that if it's week 1, it will start from 7. It will stop at 7. So it is the stopping point of the iteration. If week 2, it will stop at 7 times 2, 14. So this is the stopping point of the iteration I++ that I will just move on one by one. This is the total birds in a week. This is the variable that we created here, which we assigned the value of 0, plus is equal to birds per day. Every single iteration, every single value is adding in this. Let's say we are calculating the first week, the index 0 value will come into this total bird in a week variable. After that, the index second value will be added to the index first value. Plus is equal to is a operator, which means that total birds in a week is equal to total birds in a week plus 1. So it is another shortcut to apply this, where we add a value in any variable and we keep on adding. So this is the starting limit in for loop, this is the stopping limit, and we are iterating to the stopping part until we get the complete value, and then we return the total. Now moving towards the last task. First, I will tell you what we have to do in this. So we have to go to the instructions. Yes, fix a counting variable. Now there's a change. There was one bird that was hiding all the time, and we have the array, but for some reasons they visit on the garden in even days. Like the first index is 0. In this day, the bird visit the garden. Then the bird visit the garden in second day, and then skip the third, and then again visit the garden fourth day, then don't skip then skip the fifth day, and again then come to the sixth day. So here's the code. We created a function, and we are here to fix the bird counting. We passed a parameter birds per day. This is the array which has all the birds that were visiting every single day. And now for let I is equal to 0, we are starting from the index 0 until this is the starting point of the iteration, and the stopping point is I is less than birds per day dot length, because we are here to change the complete array. We have to add one bird every single day that the particular bird visit the garden. So they have given the instruction that for some reason the bird only visited on the even days. Day first, like on the index 0, and on the index second, index fourth, index sixth, and that's how it goes on. So I plus is equal to 2. It means that I is equal to I plus 1. Okay, so we will add 1 on that particular days. So we know which day. So I plus is equal to 2 means I will be iterated 2 numbers forward, like starting from index 2, 0, it will move towards index 2, and it goes on. So that's how we iterate. And after we do that, we add birds per day is plus is equal to 1. Like we added one word per day into the variable birds per day, and then we return that value. So I hope I was able to explain that how the for loop works and how to solve this exercise. And if you like the video, if I was able to help you in learning something new, please like and subscribe the channel for more such content. And it's a new channel, so your support is much needed. And take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.